Hey folks, back with another video. Let's dive into what stories got my attention today. Starting with the Caucus region, where Armenia and Azerbaijan had agreed to a ceasefire, and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov had said that they also agreed to a substantive peace talks which would be mediated by the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, the Minsk Group. Now, both sides have accused the other of breaking the agreement, with Azerbaijan claiming that Armenia had shelled its second largest city, Ganja, killing 7 civilians. Armenia denied the claims, warning that Azerbaijan and its allies had launched drone and missile attacks against civilian targets in a number of cities in the disputed region. Azerbaijan has insisted any ceasefire would be brief and it would continue its fight once it had collected its dead. Amnesty International has accused Azerbaijan of war crimes against civilians after it confirmed the use of banned Israeli-made cluster bombs in the regional capital, Stepanakert. Now, Nagorno-Karabakh President Arayik Harutyunan said hostilities had reduced on the second day of the ceasefire, but warned that the truce remained fragile. I feel that both sides may be getting into a sort of a war frenzy, and both sides may convince themselves that they are on the right side. And this is likely going to make it difficult for the two sides to come to a peace agreement. Moving on, Iraqi militia groups have agreed to suspend rocket attacks on US forces on the condition that Iraq's government present a timetable for a withdrawal of American troops. Now, the factions have presented a conditional ceasefire, according to Mohammad Mohi, who is the spokesman for the Kataib Hezbollah group. Now, the militias in Iraq have become too powerful, and the Iraqi government needs to integrate these militias in a way so that they can find the troublemakers and then punish them for doing the wrong. And the militias need to be made responsible and held to account for their actions. Well, this is my advice to the Iraqi government on the matter. Hopefully, the militia either disbands after the US troops leave and become productive members of the society. Moving on to the Koreas. North Korea celebrated the 75th birthday of its ruling party in Pyongyang on Saturday. North Korea paraded a variety of weapon systems, including 2 missiles that were disclosed for the first time to a foreign audience. Now, it is possible that these could be mock-ups of missiles under development. South Korea's defense ministry said in a statement demanding North Korea abide by the 2018 inter-Korean deals aimed at lowering animosities. South Korea's foreign ministry issued a separate statement urging North Korea to return to talks to commit to achieving denuclearization and peace on the Korean peninsula. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un warned he would fully mobilize his nuclear force if threatened, but avoided direct criticism of Washington. And the situation in Korea is complex, as the regime will do anything to survive, but the cost that the North Koreans suffer under the Kim Jong-un and the previous leader has been horrific, to say the least. Now, I hope that we can achieve an agreement that can free the millions of Koreans that live in abject poverty and millions who are in the concentration camp. Moving on to Tajikistan, it seems Tajikistan is poised to re-elect President Emomali Rahmon in a nationwide vote on Sunday. Now, many regard the election as largely ceremonial. Now, Rahmon came to power as a result of the devastating civil war in the early 1990s, which was followed by Tajikistan's transition to independence from the Soviet Union. And during this time, Rahman has defined himself as the guarantor of the state's stability. Now, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which is to independently monitor the vote, have criticized the election process, while Human Rights Watch have criticized Tajikistan's human rights violation. Hopefully, Kyrgyzstan's protest does not spread into Tajikistan. And moving on, China is spreading its soft power into Africa in the form of investing in the African nation's space program, estimated to be a $7 billion industry. Now, China provides loans to the countries in African countries, in order to acquire the satellites. Now, example of this is the Ethiopian satellite, which was launched from the Chinese space station, and China covered $6 million of the $8 million cost. Now, this definitely helps Beijing in the current environment, as they can use this to get many countries to be not too harsh on the regime and some of its recent incompetency. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for future updates. Write in the comments your thoughts, criticisms, and anything I might have missed. And I will see you in the next video.